this postal worker's decided not to deliver post in the area around where they live. They are travelling through the Winky Wonky intersection all the way down the highway. Now that is really interesting. I had no idea they would do something like that. Hello everybody, welcome back to Cities Skylines with me, Biffa, here in the city of New Zealand. Now today we are going to be running an experiment during this episode. So the question is, how much of a difference to your city does the Postal Service make? Because I've realised just the other day I don't really have much of a Postal Service coverage in my city. So I've been thinking, I just want to level that out. There we go. I've been thinking that we need to run a little experiment to see. So what I'm going to do is take some facts and figures from our city and see how much difference it makes adding in much better Postal Service coverage. So which facts and figures are we going to be mostly interested in our city? And then once we see the outcome of this at the end, you can decide whether you would like to add these items into your city or whether you can just leave them, not have them in your city at all. So let's find out. So first of all, let's take a look at our info views, and we have the post office's info view down here. And as you can see, anything that's red has a low efficiency coverage of postal workers, and you know, most of the city is pretty rubbish. Look, you can see red everywhere. There's a few little spots of blue, and we'll come to those in a moment. But what do we already have in the city? Well, this is where we first started building in our city, and way back then, Biffa's brain remember to put in the odd post office. So these post offices will send out the vans in a small little area. So post vans in use, 11 out of 11. And they will collect the post. Now, my understanding is the post trucks then take that post over to the post sorting facility. But anyway, we have a post office here. We have another one over here, just tucked into this area. So that's why you can see a little bit of blue. Even though there's still lots of red around here, which is interesting. We'll come back to that. And then we move over here to Tranquility Point. We have another post office there. And then I think the last one we have is all the way over here. Here we go, in the Strawberry District on no problem at all. There we go, one more post office, and we can get all the figures in there. Excellent. So we have, what was that, 4? 1, 2, 3, and 4. And they're all taking the post over here to the post sorting facility. Without a post sorting facility, your post offices would have to go in and out of the city themselves. But they will bring all of the post over to here. Look, there we go. There is a post van transporting mail to Westdale. So that truck is taking the mail outside of the city. Very good, very good. And we can see there, unsorted mail, sorted mail. So it's doing a good job. Plenty of capacity left. But why do we want to increase the coverage in our city? Well, the post collection has an effect on happiness of our citizens. So we go over here to our citizen happiness tab, and we can see that our citizens are pretty happy. So I'm going to take a screenshot of that screen there, and we're going to come back to compare at the end. So the bluer the screen, the more happier people are, and pretty much everybody is almost in the last category. So at the moment, I would say, even without fantastic postal coverage, or pretty poor postal coverage, let's be honest, everybody is still pretty happy. Now, why is happiness a benefit to us? Well, happiness can help in the upgrade of buildings. So let's have a look at our next info view of levels. Here we go. And the darker the colour, the higher the level of the building. So as we can see down here, these are pretty dark. These are pretty dark. Then we've got some light ones along the front. And you can see on these graphs here, we do have maybe 2/3 residential, 2/3 commercial, 3/4 industrial, and maybe 1/3 offices are at the higher level. And the rest are at, you know, low to medium sort of level. Now, some of that will be to do with high-rise banning. For instance, over here in our new area, Primrose Hills, we haven't named this one yet. We'll get to that later. We have no tall buildings or whatever the, let's have a quick look at the policies in the city planning. High-rise ban over in this area. And that will be the same for a lot of areas. But we want to see how much of a difference that makes. So let's also take a screenshot of that, and we will compare that at the end. So as well as increasing the happiness, which has the knock-on effect of upgrading our buildings, it also means that our citizens will pay more tax. Now, at the moment, our tax rates are all at 12%. If we put those any higher, there's generally some complaints. And 12% is more or less seen as the figure that most people will pay. But why not? We'll take a screenshot of that as well. And let's see whether at the end we can encourage people to pay more tax. And maybe we'll compare that to our residential income, our commercial income, and our industry and office income as well. And then finally, with all of that going on, will it increase our population? We're at 60,202 people with a nice steady growth incoming, you know what I mean, of roughly 50 to 100 people a week. Yes, so let's see how all of this goes. So what I would like to test is finding one of our post offices that we already have placed and just seeing how far our postal trucks are willing to go. And it's just quite a good example. It almost seems like there is a round area of effect around here. So let us grab, okay, let's have a look here. So this is the post sorting facility is bringing mail to the post office. So what do those trucks look like? Let's take a look. Yeah, so those are the big trucks like that. Excellent. Let's find one of the smaller postal vans. Here we go. So he's returning to the facility. He's unloaded all of his post. So let's find one who's actually going out to deliver post. Aha, he's just left. So he's now picked up the post that these larger trucks have dropped off and he's going to deliver it around the area. So let's follow this guy here and see how far he will travel. And we can see as he goes along, all the buildings that he's passing are changing colour, which is great. And it's not a distance by the look of it. So he's at 70%, all of this going around the roundabout. It's only when he passes other buildings and unloads his mail, here he goes, it's going to go down again, that the figure starts going down. And this one's heading out on the highway. Now that's interesting. So this postal worker's decided not to deliver post in the area around where they live. They are travelling through the Winky Wonky intersection all the way down the highway past a whole nother area, Chai Beach. Now that is really interesting. I had no idea they would do something like that. Still going past Earl Grey Gardens, past the starting area of our map, Green Tea Square. No way! I thought they would just stick in a local area. I think this is actually going to be harder to work out than I thought it was. Aha, Sugar Cube Square. Is this where you're going to be delivering? It looks like it is. You've decided to come all the way over to Sugar Cube Square. Now, that to me is fascinating. So we can't say that each of these vehicles has an area of effect or each of the buildings has an area of effect. It looks like they will be called out to anywhere that needs post, will deliver until they get to 100% or 0, deliver all their post, and then they're going to return to the facility again. Okay, so that is actually going to make it a little bit harder in working out what we're going to do. So it almost seems to me then, with that information in my brain, that we just need to keep placing down post office buildings until... Oh, this is going to be weird. Until all the areas are happy. Like, we don't have one on here. See, I bet let's just place one on here and see whether he will still leave the area to go and deliver somewhere else. Okay, so here we go. Under Mass Transit Postal Services, let's select a post office. We can see that there is a noise around them, which isn't very good. Is that actually a post office there? No, I don't think it was. No, okay, excellent. So I'm just wondering where... I mean, I would sort of normally put it down here, perhaps out of the way in our industry area, so as not to upset the residents around here. I think that would probably be the best idea. What I was wondering was whether even just placing one down will make people happy or unhappy. Let's just pop it at the end here. Sorry to the people that live here. Yeah, so we saw how far that spread. That spread to quite a distance over there. Now, there he goes. Look, you can literally see him going out delivering post already. So, unsorted mail. So, they literally come with some mail already. Now, that's interesting. Is this figure here tied in to all the other ones as well? Let's have a look. So, at the minute, let's pause. 38,000 unsorted mail. What's this one over here? 66,600. No. So, it's given a random figure in an area. And all 11 post vans have gone out, and I can't see any of them on the island. Are they all heading under here to come out and head off to somewhere else? I bet they are. Let's just see if we see any coming out here. There they go. There's 2 of them. And I bet a few more have already headed out. There's another one. Excellent. You cheeky so-and-sos. Not delivering post in your local area. Okay. So, how are we going to fix this problem? So, of course, there are mods that you can use where you can tell services to only service a certain area. So, obviously, we've got our district over here, and we could probably set... I've never used that mod, but we could probably set this as a service to say only look after the guys and girls in HMP Guilty area. And so on around the city. But I don't have that mod. I don't really want to get into that. I've looked into it before, and I think there possibly are little issues with it. I might be wrong. It might have changed now. But now the question is, how many post offices are we going to put around our city? See, these are now being happily dealt with, even though we don't have... Well, I say happily. Some of these people on the main road are being visited, even though we don't have a post office over here. So how many do we need to put down to cover the whole city? Also, worth keeping in mind... import and export figures as well, which I didn't mention before. I don't think that's going to make a huge difference on the city, but we'll take a screenshot. I've just set this one just to show the mail and our export as well. So, I mean, that's, I would imagine, just going to increase as we add more post offices. So let us go around our city. And I'm going to put, just as a starting figure, look, there must be a post van in here somewhere. These are starting to change colour. I am going to put a post office in each of our districts, at least one, and we'll see how much of a difference that makes. So let's start over here in Primrose. I also don't think that what is the area of effect of noise? It's only 10, so that is not too shabby. So I don't think anyone's going to really complain at that. But I think I'd rather get the happiness boost for everybody. So can I squeeze this in right by the train station? I can. There we go. That happiness boost goes across all of the city, which is great. Then you're going to go out and start delivering our post for us. Right, so that's Primrose Hill. Why don't we just move it in a clockwise direction? So over here, we have the Cedar District by the airport, of course. Lots and lots of big buildings in here. I'm assuming they have lots of postal needs. So let's see where we can fit one of these in here. Okay, here we go. We've got a nice little slot over here at the back. I think that would be the perfect place. As those trucks all go out, let's just zoom out and keep an eye on this area and see how much they cover this one, if they do this first or if they just drive all over the place instead. Yep, looks like most of them are leaving. We can see them all coming down here. They're all going. They're not being forced to leave. I have fixed this little area here. So, yeah, I'm wondering, while I'm doing this, whether there is some sort of age attached to the postal needs. You know, this area over here has been waiting longer than that area, so they will go over there first. Maybe something like that. Look, as we literally sat here, I can see the colours changing to blue, which is great. So more of our city is being covered. Nice. Okay, so then we have our Green Tea Fields Farm. Now, this is showing as a low efficiency. I'm assuming these still have postal needs. But I wouldn't put a post office over here in a farming area. So I'm not going to do that. But right next to it, we have Elizabeth Square. And, oh, there we go. And the Crest District. This is giving us a nice little tour of our areas as well, isn't it? Which is fantastic. So let's see what we've got going on in here. No post offices in here. I mean, it's a pretty big population in this area. So almost 4,000 in that section. Almost 4,000. So 8,000 people in that section. I don't know, I'm reckoning at least a couple of post offices, one on each side maybe. There we go, and we can see the effect spreading over there. Excellent. So that's 2 we have in here now. 1 there and 1 over here. So let's just watch that and see whether that makes much of a difference. Already we can see the colours going. Look, look, look. There they go. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Will they reach as far as Dean Square? As that's a teeny tiny little district, I'm going to sort of hope that gets covered by these 2. This section down here and Sugar Cube Square, I don't think that has a... No, the nearest post office is all the way over here. And this is a very big area. So over 5,000 people there. Sparty Hub. Maple Gardens. No, which is the name that we're looking for. Sugar Cube Square. I'm looking at the district names. Oh, that's the university. Of course it is. Crest Heights. So 4,500 people there. This is all shops. So maybe perhaps over between these 2 would be a good one. I'm going to pop it over here, as this seems right out on a limb. You can come in and out on this way, but yeah, let's pop one over here as well. And there we go. Look, we've got the perfect spot right down here. There's no buildings around that one, so I'm actually going to put some high-density residential in there. Make sure the district's covering that. Yes, it is. There we go. And they're going to start heading out and dealing with the post in this area. And I'm hoping that's maybe going to overlap and cover some of this as well. I'm actually thinking Sugar Cube Square. Whoa, what is going on with our water? Sewage treatment is very, very low. Okay, let's just quickly fix that. Over in our industry area is where we've got all our sewage. I think that's the pumping service. Eco Advanced Water Inland Treatment. We could probably do with adding a little something like that. Okay, we're going to pop a couple of these over here. Let's grab that again. There we go. We'll hook those up and then hopefully that will cover. There we go. And there we go. Should have electricity. Yep. Hopefully that will be everything we need. Yep, there we go. And then we just need some more water being made available as well. Over here, there's no pollution along here at all. This is just a sort of cargo type area. So I'm going to pop in a couple of these large water towers. There we go. And I'm pretty sure, let's pop this on here, that is going to be... Oh, okay. Well, we'll go to there. We'll hook that one into there. That is going to be plenty of coverage. So let's check that. Yeah, we're fine. Excellent. Yeah, so back to Sugar Cube Square. This is such a high density type area. We really do have to have some postal services in here. So I'm hoping we can find a nice little spot where we can slip one in without destroying anything else. And yep, here we go. The perfect little spot over here between these 2 paths that come down. Excellent. And then, yeah, everybody is happy. The little trucks are going out and start servicing. Hopefully this area. And immediately things start upgrading, which is exactly what we want to see. Those little green arrows that are popping up. There's another one there. There we go. There we go. Which is really good. There's like 2 little things that are popping up, which is interesting. I wonder if I could get to see what they are. Let's wait and see if it happens again. There we go, look. So it's like a little money one. So I wonder if that is something to do with the tax. If you know what that is, let me know in the comments below. But there we go. So I think between those 2 there, this one here and that one over there, hopefully we're going to cover all of that. Now I'm looking at this section in the middle here, of course. This is a lot of population in here. So yeah, let's pop another one in over here as well. There we go. Just pop that one in over there. So I think between that, we've got all of these areas over here covered. So now we're coming down here to the industry area. And of course, I mean, we do have the postal, and we can see, look, some of these are turning blue. So even industries have needs for post. Look, there we go. Perfect example. That's turning blue. And these are like the little cargo storage containers. So trucks are coming here. So maybe we'll leave that for now. We'll concentrate on the areas where there's more people. Now, we do have a post office right here. And we do have one right over here as well. But they're still not sort of covering these here. But I don't think we need another one there. I'm thinking we possibly need another one over here. So we've got one in Tranquility Point, but not one in Chai Beach, although that seems to be covered well. But what I'm doing here is maybe going for a little bit of realism as well. So if we add one in this area, then trucks from some of the other ones we've got aren't going to travel over here. They're maybe going to stick more to their own area, like these ones down here are doing a bit. So let's see if we can pop one in Shy Beach. Oh, and right on the end here, there is just a spot that hasn't been zoned. We're going to pop that one there. There we go. How far is that happiness going to reach? Oh, almost all the way to the end. Excellent. Oh, just spotted this needs rebuilding over here. Ah, that's why we ran out of water, the fire. Oh, we've got far too much water now, probably. Never mind. So there we go. All the trucks are going to head out. And yeah, it'd be interesting to see where these ones go. I'm just going to follow one of these. Well, that's a station wagon, so that won't be the one. Let's follow this one here. He's got 100%. Let's see what happens. Yeah, there we go. So he's heading off to a totally different area. So I think, yeah, like I said, if we have our areas covered, then there's going to be less crossover. Okay, so that is, for now, I think, our main island covered. I'm still wondering whether to put one extra one down here. Or with the farm. Yeah, let's leave it like that. Let's leave it like that and see how that goes. And let's move to no problem at all, which has a few problems. So we can see, look down here already, they're changing colour. So this post office, it seems like they stick to the main roads and don't go off the side road very often. But I think one on this whole area, which has a population of, what have we got? 0 in there. Myrtle Square, 1,200. Nearly, oh, so that's 10,000-ish altogether. Those are parks. Highland Gardens is a park. Yeah, so 11, 12,000 people. One little teeny tiny post office is not enough. So I'm wondering whether to try and squeeze one down the front here somewhere. As I said that, this truck's coming along here, look. And dealing with all of those. Yeah, I'm actually going to put him over here in this area because it's not zoned. We have a few services down here. Let's put him on that side road there. And again, my thinking is, you know, they're going to travel, hopefully, between the two of those, cover this island. So there we go. That will do for that one there. And then over here in Orlando Heights, Sunset Heights, Aspen Park, Alien Rock Park, and our zoo. Now, this zoo is red. I'm assuming they're not going to drive into the zoo because these are all paths. So that's probably always going to stay red. What would this area be named? I completely missed any names for that area. But yeah, with all the people that are on here, I don't think we've got any post offices over here at all. No, we haven't. So let's pick our most densely populated areas. I think maybe one over here to help deal with all the industry would be good. And there's some nice little spots, look, along the front. Maybe over here, look, next to whatever that is. Medical clinic, that would be good. We'll have one there. And even though there's trucks coming over here, I'm going to put one in the what would this area be named section. There must be somewhere here where I can squeeze one in. Oh, look, right next to there would be good. I'm going to destroy a house. Yeah, sorry, residents. We're going to take out that one house there. Let's just make sure nothing else is going to be zoned next to it. Yeah, so I think between that one, this one here, and this is a huge built-up area, so definitely one over here as well. Although this gets pretty busy with the traffic. But I just think, yeah, I think we could squeeze one in right on the end over here. It's quiet. Yeah, there we go. Why not? So there we go. We've got excellent coverage on this area. And then that's probably, I'm sure they were... Ooh, what's going on with the power? Power problems. Power's just not reaching that far. Oh, okay. It's coming in. It's going. Getting some brownouts. Have we got fires going on somewhere? I don't think this figure's going up and down. I think we're okay. We probably just need a little bit more power. Yeah, I'm just going to pop an advanced wind turbine over here. I'm hoping it will connect to there. It will. Excellent. And just give a little bit of a boost over here. Yeah, there we go. That's okay. And that's not spoiling any views or anything, is it? No, that's fine. That's okay. Don't think that should be a problem at all. Okay, so here we are at our lonely post office sorting facility. This place is going to get super, super busy. I am worried about the traffic in this area, so we may move it. I'll see how that goes, but We have gone from 4 post offices to 16 post offices. We've quadrupled our post offices in New Zealand. Yeah, I think we're going to have some problems here with the traffic. Let's just take a quick look in this view. We can see all the trucks coming and going, and it is holding this up a lot. I'm wondering whether the Mayor of New Zealand would say, yeah, we can delete you. You were just me testing some stuff. Whether the Mayor of New Zealand would say, we've upgraded our infrastructure so much in this area that we can relocate our post-sorting facility. And I'm thinking over here somewhere, perhaps, where it is not so busy. Let's just take a quick look at the size of that building. Yeah, if that was going to fit in there, I'd have to flip the other way around, and I'm still not sure. And I want to squeeze that in here without touching the road. Would that fit in there? No. So we would need a whole new area. Now here, actually, coming off of this roundabout would be perfect. It would have its own access to everywhere. Why don't we do that? And we can finally get rid of what I can only be described as either a bird has gone smack into the ground and left its mark, or a weird sort of aeroplane motif. I don't know. Should we keep it? I just think it's going to go. Anyway. Oh, I decided to keep it. I've moved it over there. Yes, I can never get rid of anything. So let's put a little upgrade in here. I'm going to just keep things running in the background while we're doing this. So, yeah, let's just go for standard 2-lane road, no parking. And let's have a look. How are we going to do this? I don't think we want to make it too complicated. I mean, we could literally come straight down like that to use this space over here. This is where it's going to be. 2-way road, no parking. I think we'll use this one here. Oh, that's a teeny tiny road, isn't it? I wouldn't realise that was a small road. I thought that was a 2U road, but it's like a teeny tiny 1U road. Okay. Well, what I'm going to do anyway is upgrade this bit so it's got 2 coming out. We'll leave this one and see what happens. And then we could put it on that side. They could come in, they could drop off, they could turn around the end, and they could go. Knowing how busy this is going to be, I'm thinking a very small little roundabout on the end there would actually probably help. 1U, one-way road, no parking. Let's do that. Just something like that to go around. Excellent. And then let's just pause the game. Look at all these trucks. I can just see them all coming in. There we go. Look, loads and loads and loads of them. Let's take that. And that is not going to fit like that because it goes the other way round. Oh, actually, I'll tell you what we're going to do. Let's try that again. It's going to be up against that road there. All right, let's just move some things down a bit here. Hold on. Let's do this. We're going to pop it up against the side there. Oh, seriously? Okay, we're going to anarchy that in. And then I'll move this bit, make it a little bit smaller. There we go. That should be fine. And then what I was thinking of doing here, because they're going to come in and out of there now instead of over here. I think that's going to be okay. They'll come down there, they'll come out, and then what I don't want them is to cross over this street. I want them to go around, turn around there, and then come back out again so they don't get in each other's way. But it might actually, now I've done all that setup, it might actually work okay. It's going to take a while for the trucks to realise this place has moved. The other thing we could have a quick look at is the spawning points. So we've got... Oh, it says it's too far from the road for some type of vehicles. Now that's interesting. I've literally just placed it up against the side of the road. That's a little bit odd. Let's give these guys some water. There we go. Electricity should be fine. Yeah, you're fine. Yeah, very odd. I mean, I've literally just placed this down. That shouldn't cause a problem. I'm wondering if that's to do with the fact that they're still going perhaps to the other one. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move those a little bit closer to the road. Like that. And the same for this one. And I think, to be honest, that'll probably fix itself once the trucks have stopped going to this spot over here, which we know they will do for a while. There we go. Oh, he's getting confused. He's turned around to come back. Let's just see what happens. Oh, there we go. I just saw some movement. Okay, so I've changed this to a road with a median, so now they have to come down here and turn around, which is fine. We're just going to set this up I don't want anybody giving way, and then I want you just to go straight there, and then when you come out, you can just pick either one of those. And I also need to just check this, which I've just thought about. Let's remove that. That might be the reason why no one's coming over here. And then there we go. Look, they're all thinking about it now. And then we'll just, nope, let's do that. We'll do the giveaway there. And I think that should be okay. Why are you all turning down there? You don't need to, you know. You can choose where you want to go when you get to this node. So yeah, it might be just because I've monkeyed with things. And then we're going to do giveaway there. So it's no traffic lights. And I think once everybody's sorted themselves out, there we go, this will start working as intended. So I will keep an eye on this. So the idea now is, got some free space over there. All the traffic's going to come this way instead. And I'm going to let the city run for, what should we say, about half an hour. And then we can just look at the figures that we've taken and see whether what we've done has made much difference. So quadrupling from 4 up to 16 post offices hopefully has had a good effect on our city. So I'll let this run and I will be back with you. Look, no one's being forced to come down here anymore. Why are you coming down here? Oh, they're using this as a turnaround instead of this. I don't know. I'll look into that anyway. I'll be back with you in, well, half an hour for me, about 3 seconds for you. Just quickly before I do that, look, I've moved this spot closer because if you hover over this, it gives an area of effect. So I don't know whether that's a spawning points mod or what that is, the problem is. But look, now I've moved the green one forward. You can see trucks coming from that, but not from the red one. I'm going to move this forward, and then suddenly this one's going to kick in as well. There we go. It's not red anymore. And that will send trucks out. We've obviously just sent them all out from the green spot. But yeah, maybe a little bug there. I'm not entirely sure. But now this is 100% working. Okay, so the game has been running for, I'd probably say about 40 minutes, something like that. So one of the other things we wanted to test before we do anything else is whether we could increase our tax rate. Obviously, we've got these figures down here, which probably aren't going to change too much unless these things up here change. So I am going to bump all of these up by 1%. There we go. And then we need to take a look around our city. Let's put it on fast speed for a moment or two, just to see whether there are any complaints about tax. And if we just sort of move around here, there are no immediate complaints about tax over here on this side of the city. That is good. You're complaining about noise. That's kind of tough. You're complaining about noise. Excellent. That's really good. What about over here? HMP guilty. No complaints about tax that I can see over here. Let's maybe come around this way. Tranquility Point. Everybody seems happy. Chai Beach. Everybody's happy. Getting towards the first areas that we built in. Things are looking good. Ooh, I'm wondering whether we could go even higher. Everybody on the industry front is still pretty pleased. Yep, no complaints around here. Excellent. Sugar Cube Square. Here we go. There you go. Our first complaint. This shop over here. This small little supermarket. Oh, some of these are kicking in. Okay. Maybe it's taken a little longer than I thought for this unhappiness to kick in. Let me just run the game for a minute. Right, we are getting some complaints, and the interesting thing is it's mostly the offices. So let's just pause the game a moment. It's offices over here that are complaining on no problem at all. Everybody else, what's that there? That's a little bit of commercial complaining. I'm wondering whether we could get away with it on our residential, but maybe not so much. Oh, some of these guys. See, these guys I would expect to complain because the lower land value right over here. That would make sense. So maybe what we could do is tweak it a little bit and say, oh, all of these are complaining. All of our high density people here. That is a shame. I was thinking maybe, let's just keep running the game. Oh, somebody's upgraded somewhere. That might be an end of year thing. Yeah, now all of these are complaining. All of these are complaining. Yeah, I don't think we can have an over... See, these are quite happy over here. Few complaints over there. But I don't think we can have a sweeping upgrade of taxes to the whole of our city. It seems like... Yeah, all of these down here. Complaints over here. Too many complaints to micromanage. So that has answered that question. Unfortunately, we cannot increase all of our tax rates altogether. Darn it. There we go. Our population is creeping back up again. Now, you may remember before we started doing this test, our population was just over 60,000. And before we did that little test with the taxes, it was just over 60,000. So without changing anything else, the population stayed about the same. Let's check our coverage now. Here we go. So the efficiency has gone through the roof. There's a few little red spots. So things like... there's. I was saying that. Look, I suppose there's some roads in here. Actually, no, there isn't. Is there? How did the postman or postwoman get in here to this building, the zoo souvenir shop? Maybe when they come over here to the side gate or the entrance, it assigns a random, we've picked up the post from your building to parks and universities. That's an interesting question. But overall, looking at the buildings, so much more blue, so much less red, here we go, than we had before. There's a few parks that haven't been touched. This is an old building that's broken down anyway. But overall, I would say that is pretty good. These like university buildings again. Oh, there we go. Look, even our farming area has had its post picked up all the way over here in our little mountainside, more or less covered. So that is not bad at all. You might find maybe adding one more in just adds a whole load of extra trucks to the fleet. But I think that will probably be okay. One thing we can always do is in our post service, we're actually at 101%. That teeny tiny extra amount adds a whole nother truck. So I'm just going to leave that like that. And I've done that on most other things as well, as you can see. So yeah, our coverage has increased, which is great. So what about some of the other facts and figures? We were talking about our happiness. So perhaps we will have up on the screen what the happiness looked like before. So as we can see, the residential happiness has not changed. The commercial happiness has not changed. The office happiness has risen by 1%. And the industrial happiness has not changed. So even though postal services increased the happiness overall, our happiness was so high, it actually made no difference at all. Apart from the offices, they're happier for getting all of their junk mail out to the Tiwis living in New Zealand. So next we have this very dark info view here, which is the levels of our building. Perhaps will pop up on the screen now. The levels we had before. Residential looks exactly the same. Commercial looks exactly the same. Offices, we've had a decrease, it looks like. So an increase in mid-level buildings, a decrease in high density, just a tiny amount there. And industry looks exactly the same. I'm wondering whether that is for some dead buildings, perhaps, maybe because we put the taxes up. But I would say it's barely any difference at all. So it's, you know, made next to no difference to the levels in our city. The side effect, what I reckon, one of the things that might be a side effect to that is our city is such a well-established city and we have such good coverage of everything else that all the buildings have already hit the high levels that they were going to hit. So maybe postal services will help boost this and speed up increasing to higher levels. And once they've got to the top levels and as far as they're going to go, that is it. So just very quickly looking at our tax levels here, I'm just going to look at the overall figure at the bottom here. So that has probably increased by about 800. So that's not too bad. You know, that's a slight increase. Looking at our commercial zones, 94, that's dropped ever so slightly. Maybe from me possibly taking out the odd building when I was placing the post office. I tried not to. But our industry's increased by 800, 600, something like that. 6, 7, 8, Yeah, something along those lines anyway. So negligible difference to the economy. Yeah, we did increase, didn't we, some of this up here. So maybe that has made a bit of a difference. And then finally, our outside connections. So we're importing about half as much mail as we were before. So what I think that means is before people wanted mail and the only place they could get it was from outside the city. Whereas now they have lots of other options of all the other post offices that we've placed around the city. So they can call in their mail from there instead. That's what I think that figure means. So that's good. You know, we're being more self-sufficient. Again, as well with exporting, we're not making so much mail than having nowhere to send it. Before was 857, now only 68. So again, being more self-sufficient. So that is a boost, perhaps you could say. Less outside traffic. And of course, there's one more thing to keep in mind for our postal services is the expenses. Now, I didn't check these before, but we've quadrupled, haven't we, the amount of post offices we've had, so you can do the maths. And that is just a straight expense. It's a service that we give to the city that we don't make any money from that by the look of it. They obviously don't pay for stamps and things. So yeah, that is an interesting thing to also take into consideration. And then we have our city-wide policies, which I am going to turn on. So we have free Wi-Fi, which the effects are reducing mail accumulation by 15%, cost 2 credits a building. So I'm going to put that on. So I'm thinking now that's going to mean the effect our buildings have on our city, our post offices, is going to increase because the mail accumulation will be less, so they can go further. That's how I read that one. And then automatic sorting as well increases mail capacity by 10% and costs 300 credits per, or tea leaves, 300 tea leaves per city post office building. So we're going to pop that one on as well, and maybe we'll see a little bit of an increase in the coverage of our city with those turned on. So in conclusion, what can we say about the post offices? Well, it seems that they do make a little bit of difference here and there. Maybe a difference that would be more noticeable when you first start your cities. They would help things to grow quicker, perhaps to higher levels, increase happiness. But when you've got a well-established city such as New Zealand, it seems like you don't really need them. But I think for realism's sake, and it's something in the game that we can play with, it increases traffic, it gives us more things to deal with, we are going to leave them in. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Is there anything I've missed, anything I've misunderstood? Always happy to hear from you guys and girls in the comments. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe for all the fantastic City Skyline content that we have, and something new perhaps coming next week as well. Watch out for that. Thanks everybody, have a fantastic day. Bye bye.